Good morning, Keller Williams. Happy Monday. Happy January the 10th. Little Lil Nas X to get us started this morning. That's my new jam. That's my new favorite song. Just in case anyone was curious. Hope you had an awesome weekend. Hope you're staying nice and toasty warm. I'm told it's going to be like single digits tomorrow. So if you're cold now, just wait. Keep piling on sweaters between now and tomorrow morning. You'll get through it. All right, so jam-packed event for you this morning, just like a jam-packed week. We got more and more people popping into the waiting room, so let me get them in. All right, so a quick, let me just hit the calendar real quick to get us started. Today at 11, we start our MREA book club. I'm really excited about that. I hope you've been reading. We're going to cover the first 97 pages in MREA, which is all about mindset, if you have read. If you haven't read, pop by anyway. If you have read, pop by with your highlights and your ideas, and we'll run through those first 97 pages and get through the next quarter of the book for next Tuesday. But 11 today, in this Zoom room starts our MREA book club. Excited to get that started. And then 1 o'clock today, we do have a listings Q&A. More on that in just 1 minute. Of course, Debbie Orr does her business builders Monday through Thursday this week. I know more and more are you plugging into that and having some really great experiences. So if you're not joining Debbie at 9:30, decide to do that today and check it out. And then watch the calendar for more excitement for the rest of the week. We do start Ignite tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And that'll be regular Ignite and Mastermind Ignite. We're gonna shift it up a little bit to keep it fun and interesting. So we encourage you to join us 4 o'clock tomorrow, and that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right here in this Zoom room from 4 till 6. So last week I gave you a couple of challenges, and I wanted to thank you, Heather. The command sessions do go off at 11:30 today, Monday through Thursday this week as well. And I think it's the second week of, there's those 8 that cycle through. This is numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8 this week. So do join Joe. Those are separate Zoom links, which were emailed out last week. We'll make sure we get them out again to you this morning so that you have that fresh in your email. So I offered some challenges last week, and I wanted to just dive back into those challenges. How many of you enjoyed challenge number 1, which was reading 2 books a week? All right, so let me restate that. How many of you who are not Donna Gilbert decided that you were going to dive right into that and make sure that you read those 2 books, right? So MREA and Exactly What to Say, right? Great reads. Here's what's fun. It's week number 2, so we got 2 more books. So for those of you who are exhausted from reading 2 books in 1 week last week, we're gonna keep you pumped and keep you going. The 2 books this week are The One Thing, which if I could reach over my desk here, The One Thing, which many of you have read, so it might be a quick reread for you. If you've not read this book, this is an awesome book to read. So do make sure that you dive into that one. And the second one is a book called Mastery, and maybe Steve or Dan can just tell us who wrote that book, because I'm not 100% sure who wrote it.
His name escaped. I can tell you in 2 seconds, but it's a really interesting book. It's the book that Gary and Jay read prior to writing The One Thing, so it really motivated them.
George Leonard.
George Leonard, thanks, Dan.
And get it on Audible or Apple Books or something like that, just because Amazon only sells it used, and it was like $50. And it's not actually through Amazon, it's through like other sellers and stuff. They're really like kind of out of print kind of thing.
Got it. So one of you put that in the chat. Mastery by George Leonard, I think you said, and Gary's The One Thing. Certainly start, if you're going to read just one of those this week, read The One Thing. So that's the challenge for the week, The One Thing and Mastery. I got to get myself started on both of those books this afternoon. Many of you came back to me and said, hey, where was that weight loss link? You promised us a weight loss link. And you know what, I apologize. What I thought I said was, text or email me if you want the link sent to you. I wasn't going to blast it out to everybody. So if that is you, if you want to join in on that challenge, text or email me today, and I'll make sure I share that link with you just so you can track each week with the rest of us. So my apologies. I think that was my error. And then the last update I want to give you is our listings update. I want to just spend a half a moment on that because, as you know, we set a target of 25 listings a week, January and February, right? So for 8 weeks, that's 200. That's 200 new listings. And today is the 10th, which means we've had 9 full days of 2022, and we have taken as an entire organization. How many of us are on this call? 115 of us on this call. We have taken as an organization 11 new listings. 11 new listings. That's less than one. That's one a day, right? So here's the question. The question is, what are we waiting for? Right? We got to dive right in and contact those clients. Be in touch with your database. Be talking about getting things on the market, right? Super Bowl Sunday is when we normally say that the spring market begins. However, this year with such scarce inventory, for sellers, the market needs to begin right now. The good news is the weather is holding out for us, right? Because what affects listing inventory in the winter in the Northeast? Generally speaking, weather, right? We have weather on our side right now. Have that conversation into your database. A lack of inventory, weather on our side, let's just get this property on the market. Don't wait until Super Bowl Sunday, right? We're gonna have a whole lot of catch up to do. Your sellers will benefit by getting their homes on the market today than waiting another month or another 2 months. Let's make sure that we're having those conversations. And be sure to be in the room today at 1 o'clock for listings Q&A. If you're unclear about where to find new listings, what you're doing, how you're having these conversations with your sellers, pop in, ask that question. We'll make sure that we discuss it and get you some great answers. So that's the update on our challenges. One note over the weekend, you may have seen, perhaps it was Friday, we did get an email from KWRI that Family Reunion is going to move forward. So they were back and forth and forth and back and forth and back and back and forth. And as expected, I think I mentioned a week ago today that I expected the event to stay on the calendar. It will stay on the calendar as scheduled, either in person. So those of you who are registered or curious about going in person, that is going to occur in Orlando in the middle of February. For those of you who are not interested in going in person, we do have a digital version like we did last year and the year before, like we did last year. And so do dive into that, register at familyreunion.kw.com. Now is the time to do that because the price will absolutely go up starting relatively soon. So if you haven't gone and grabbed your digital registration for Family Reunion Digital, if you're not going to head to Orlando, do that today so that we can secure that registration for you before the numbers go up. All righty. I think those are my announcements for the day, which brings us to a quick conversation that I wanted to have. How many of you were on the call? It was this 9 a.m. call a week or two ago where actually, I think it was just before we finished for the year, right? And Steve had Aaron Kaufman on as his special guest. How many of you were on that call? Right? There was a whole bunch of us. So it was more than just the 3 of you who raised their hands, but that's okay. And so Aaron said a lot of really great things, right? He said, he talked about profit share. He talked about passive income. He talked about a whole lot of great things. However, I want to refocus us on the one thing that he mentioned in particular that really kind of snapped my head around and has had me thinking about him and this concept ever since he said it. And it was the concept of how he is more excited right now, today, for the opportunities that he sees ahead of him in our industry, in our company, in his business, in his life, than he ever has been before. And that was really important, at least to me, because I think it's so easy, especially after a really rocking and rolling year. Yes, we had oddities in 2021, just like we had oddities in 2020. However, for the most part, for our industry, it was a pretty hot year, right? And yet he stands today and looks ahead and says, I am more excited than ever before about the opportunity, about what's coming our way. And it got me thinking, are we all that excited about what is in front of us? Or are we stuck, right? Are we stuck in the how am I ever going to repeat last year mode, right? That most real estate agents get kind of stuck in the first week or so of the new year, right? Maybe that's why our listings are down, right? You've all been thinking about how on earth am I going to repeat what I did last year? Well, here's a quick hint. Take some more listings and you can go ahead and repeat and better what you did last year, right? Are we stuck kind of resisting change? Are we stuck looking to see what's going on in the neighbor's yard instead of focusing on our own? Are we stuck believing that great things can't happen to each of us, or that we have to get through kind of the rest of whatever this health environment is? Guys, I'm going to tell you, and maybe this is politically incorrect. However, if you're waiting for the health environment to change to start achieving at a high level in your business, you're going to be waiting a really long time. It is my personal opinion that what we are now experiencing is what is now going to be normal. We're just living with this thing from now. It's not just, we're not going to wake up one morning and it's just going to be over and everything's gone. That's just not going to happen, right? So we need to start living and figuring out what that looks like through all of that. You got to stop waiting. So let's pivot. What does excitement look like? Well, to me, it's continuing to recognize that we work in an industry where the only person who gets to tell you what the limits of your achievement are and what the limits of your income are is you. To me, it's understanding that success is really simple. It's not easy, but it's really, really simple. You build a plan that focuses on the right activities, you follow said plan with passion and discipline, and then you reap the rewards. Rinse and repeat, right? There's your formula for success. It's pretty much, for those of you who spent last week reading the MREA, it's pretty much that book. That's what that book is. I just gave you a synopsis of Gary's book. To me, excitement is understanding that we live inside of an organization. And by the way, just as a side note, the only organization that gives two licks about the future of our industry and is actually doing something about it, that cares about what happens to each of us. To me, it's remembering that despite all of the shiny new pennies out there, more real estate agents choose to be in business at Keller Williams Realty than any other real estate company on the planet. Not because they have to, not because there's not other choices, but because they choose to. To me, excitement is that recognition of partnership. That partnership actually means something. That win-win actually means something. That integrity actually means something. They're not just catchy marketing phrases. To me, excitement is being fully engaged in all of the stuff, right? And tomorrow, tune in, because you're going to get me tomorrow as a special guest on Tuesday. We're going to go through a list of the stuff that I'm talking about. I want you to understand and really know what it is you're either plugging into or you're missing. So it's plugging into that stuff and then using all those tools to be the very best that you can be. To me, excitement is remembering that passive income is real and important and necessary to achieve the level of freedom that you desire, regardless of what that definition of freedom might be to you. To me, excitement is knowing in your core that when we behave as one focused business family, that we together are unstoppable. Remember, teamwork makes the dream work. To me, excitement is the simple choice of just being excited every single day finding ways to feel it, show it, capitalize on it, and then spread it around. It's just a choice, right? Most of you know that when you ask me how I am, my word is usually fabulous or spectacular, even when I'm feeling like crap, even when someone just annoyed me, even when I didn't get something that I thought I was going to get. The answer is fabulous or spectacular because it's just a choice. So allow that excitement to be your choice and then spread it around. So what do you say? Who, by a quick show of hands, is going to join me in making today the most exciting day in real estate with the most exciting business family inside of the most exciting real estate company as a part of the most exciting and important industry on the face of the planet ever? Let's just be excited and go out and do the thing that we do together. Guys, I hope that was fun for you. It was fun for me. I'll see you at 11. I'll see you at 1. We'll see you all day long. Have fun, list houses, be well. Love you guys. See you soon.